Yeah. Good morning, Facebook. This is Marc Hamm with GECC, Greater Eastside Chamber of Commerce, open networking every Wednesday at 8 a.m., except for last week. Anyway, we're back this week, and we have Miss Claudette from New York and Kyle Toms from around the way. Not like around the way, girl, but you know what I'm saying. And I'm Marc Hamm with Pro Web Firm, and we're about to get started. Just want to introduce everybody so they can say good morning. Ladies first, Claudette, just say good morning. Let them know your name of your business, and where you're located.
Good morning, everyone. Calling, welcoming, saying hi to you all from New York City. A little cold here in New York City, and I am a personal finance consultant. The name of my company is World Financial Group.
All right, thank you, Miss Claudette. And Kyle, would you go ahead and introduce yourself, name of your business, and where you're located?
Sure. Two things. Can you hear me and can you see me?
No, we cannot see you, but we can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what's going on right now with the visual, but my name is Kyle Toms. I am a certified nutritional specialist and personal fitness trainer. The name of the business is Here to Health You, and I'm located in Powder Springs, Georgia.
All right, and we'll hear more from Claudette and Kyle in a second. We got my main man, Jamie Parker, driving the school bus around Gwinnett County. No, we think he's still in Gwinnett. We don't know.
I'm actually in Walton County right now.
There you go.
My daughter goes to school, Walton, private school.
That school bus gets around. Anyway, Jamie, introduce yourself, name of your businesses, and where you're located.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Jamie Parker, Icon real estate agent with EXP Realty, and also owner of Atlanta Strings music store in downtown Lawrenceville and publisher Brookwood Family Living magazine.
All right, thank you. And we'll hear more from Jamie shortly. And I am your co-host, Marc Hamm with Pro Web Firm, straight out of Lawrenceville, Georgia. I almost said straight out of Compton, but that's on the West Coast. Anyway, let's get going here today. I'm going to drop some info in the chat. I want all our speakers here today to drop your information in the chat, just like you do with H&P or any other networking event, so we can share it with our Facebook community. Claudette, we're going to allow you to go first. You got 5 minutes on the clock. We want you to tell us who you are, what you do, products and services, a good referral for your business, and a testimonial. And if you can't remember all of that, I'm dropping it in the chat for you very shortly. But introduce yourself again, who you are. Tell us about you so we get to know who you are. You this great personality I see all the time. Then tell us about your business, a good referral, and a testimonial. You on the air, caller.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me this morning. Sorry, my eyes itchy. So let me tell you how I started in this business. It started back in 2007, my mom had a stroke, and I went from being the daughter of the house to her primary caregiver. And like so many people, when they find themselves in that situation, they think that there's all these services, et cetera, that ready to take care of that parent while they continue to work or, function their day. And like many of us in this situation, we realized we were wrong. And that's where the stress begins, because our goal is to make sure that that loved one is taken care of. So, doing figuring it out, cared for my mom. And I remember 11 years later in 2018, I came home from a long day of work, and I was sitting there realizing that I'm not married. I don't have any kids. If something were to happen to me, who would be the one to take care of me? As a former attorney in the state of New York, for me, there's always an answer. You just have to keep asking the right question. And that's how I came about this business. Well-educated, very curious. And here I was learning about these services, products and services that were actually geared towards the middle class, geared towards the average person, to help them not only become more financially secure, but also educating them on how this vast world called financial services works together and how it can work for them. Too many times we're bombarded with, if you have 100,000, 250,000, there's nothing wrong with that. But for the average family, it's the extra cash. So today I get to work with that average family. I get to work with women like myself or men like myself who are not married and do not have kids. I also get to work with girls, young adults who, like I was in my 20s when I was doing really well, wanted to prepare for the future, didn't have $100,000 stashed away, but I had lots of extra cash that was just going towards buying shoes and earrings and help them prepare for the long term to get those goals, whether it's to retire by the age of 50 or 55, whether it's to make sure that their family is protected and taken care of. I work with them, and I love the fact that what I do is that I educate on how all this fits together. And when I do that, that empowers that person I'm working with to be a partner with me and not just a transaction. You understand, because nobody understands better what you do, what it impacts your family than you do. So a good referral source for me is I'm particularly focused on my niche of working with people going into retirement and preparing for long-term care. You might not have kids, you may not be married. You may say, well, I don't have to worry about my children are grown, but every last one of us are going to be retiring. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? Are you ready for long-term care? Because I say with no bones, unless you're a multimillionaire, you cannot afford the cost of long-term care. So a good referral source is anyone who is worried about that, who has that monster under the bed of, man, what will happen to me? Where will I wind up? And this is where I don't want to go. There is no, I will have to go there. It's, are you prepared? And what can you do to help, your situation, and what resources do you have? I will put my info in the chat. I love talking about how finance helps people. I love talking about showing you, like, did you know that if you did this and, working with this and understanding this, this is how you can prepare for that goal that you have, whatever that goal may be.
All right. And reiterate your name of your business, Claudette.
Again, my name is Claudette Forbin. I'm in New York City. I'm licensed in several states across the United States. And the name of my business is Well Financial Group.
All righty. Thank you, Claudette. All righty. Next up, we got Kyle and Jamie still driving that school bus. We'll get you on, Jamie. We know you got a meeting. We'll make sure you're on and off so you can attend that meeting. Kyle, name of your business. Tell us about you, your business, a good referral, and a testimonial.
All right. Good morning, and thank you again, Mark. After this, I may have to pop off. I don't know what's going on with my video. It was on when we first were speaking this morning, and now it's completely blank, so I don't know what's going on. But my name is Kyle Toms. I am a certified nutritional specialist and fitness trainer. The name of the business is Here to Health You. I'm located in Powder Springs, Georgia. A good testimonial for me is anyone who is looking to improve any area concerning the quality of life that they're currently in, whether you want to build lean muscle mass, if you want to lose weight, if you want to tone, if you have nagging aches and pains and can't figure out what they are, if you want to go in another direction other than conventional pharma. These are all areas and things that I support and educate on by way of seminars, webinars, consultations, grocery store tours to show you how to shop and where to pick the best nutritional foods for you. And that's what we do. We're here to help you. Thank you.
All righty. And thank you for jumping on there. I know you got some video issues. Jamie Parker, can you safely drive that school bus and tell us who you are, what you do? Appreciate it. So Jamie, do what you do, man.
All right. Good morning, Facebook fam. And good morning, anybody else who's watching, who's seeing all this. What do? We help people's dreams come true. And so we help them live the American dream of home ownership. And don't listen to what the media is saying. Some of the media is saying it's a nightmare. It's not a nightmare. It's a dream if you have the right agent. Two, if you have the right resources. The agent can provide you with the right resources to make things better for you. So through case study, I had someone buying new construction that took 16 months to build. Well, we all know what's happened in the last 16 months with interest rates, right? We started somewhere in the threes and ended up, by the time this thing was finished, like in January, we ended up at a much higher, yeah, I think he was getting now at 5.756. So his payment jumped up $2,000 a month because of the interest rate. So we ended up, what did we do? What did we do? We ended up working with the builder, and I went all the way up the line to assistant vice president, this big national building company, went all the way up the line, and we were able to use an outside lender, which builders do not like outside lenders. In fact, this builder owned their own lender. They had their own lender. We ended up using an outside lender, got the builder to give my client $15,000 to buy the interest rate down. And they had never, the salesperson, even the assistant vice president said, we've never done this before. I was like, yeah, well, it's because we fight. So he ended up at a 4.75% AP interest rate, which when we started this, I think he was at 4.2. So it really wasn't, yeah, it's more expensive than when we started. I'm not going to say that we got him exactly where he was 16 months ago. That's not, I'd be lying, but still it was only marginally higher than where he was at before. Super, super happy. They got into their new home. They're enjoying all the things of downtown Decatur and all the amenities and all the lifestyle there. So, that's the difference between like a top performing agent and just an agent who's trying to go out and grab a check. I even talked to somebody yesterday. Okay. And there are some things in certain areas in the market, not all of Atlanta, not all of Georgia is like super red smoking hot. We had a situation yesterday where a client has an investment property, and a lot of other people bought investment properties in that complex, and the rents have actually gone down instead of going up. And now her unit's up for rent again, and there's 4 other units for rent that are renting out for less than her mortgage. So I actually suggested that they sell it and do a 1031 exchange, but they don't want to do that. So what did I do? I basically told her, hey, you know what? I know you don't really got to have the money to pay me. That's okay. But let me tell you how to do it. Because, they trusted me. They bought a property with me last year. I told them exactly what to do, how to do it, so that they can, this is their family. This is their first one. And they have 4 girls, something like that. And this is their first investment property. So, we want to do the right things for people, even if it's not advantageous for us per se, and help people do the right things to help improve their financial lives. Much like Claudette is talking about, I firmly believe that real estate, is one of your keys. It's not the only key, but it's one of your main ways to build and create wealth. So that's what we love. That's what we love to do. So, a great referral is who needs an agent? Who do you know that has an agent that's not performing? Okay, and maybe has not even signed a buyer's brokerage agreement, which is basically the agreement that you have to sign to work with an agent. I just actually have 2 closings this month where the lender called me and said, I've got 2 clients that are approved and ready to go, and their agents aren't doing their job. Can you help me? And bada bing, bada boom, we're helping them, and we're closing this month, except one of them closes tomorrow, actually. So that's who do you know that has, that needs someone with a sharp agent, or who do you know who's an agent who's looking for a change in their own business? We're also taking on new agents, so who do you know that's looking to maybe make a move into something better? So, and on the other side too, just real quick, with the music store, so we help people rent, sell, and repair violence, space, indoor, and everything else. Who do you know that needs any kind of musical equipment? We can help you with there. How did I end up from real estate to owning a music store? Because I sold the owner of the music store his house. That's how I ended up with the music store. So when he decided he was trying to retire, instead of buying another investment property, I bought a business. So for about, using the SBA was about the same amount as buying another investment property with greater upside, in the business than an investment property could provide. So that's how we ended up ended up going from being a real estate agent to also owning a music store. So that's what we do. That's probably my 4 or 5 minutes out timing it because I'm driving, but that's probably time out. So J. Parker, Icon Agent, EXP Realty, owner of Atlanta Strings Music Store. We also publish Brookwood Family Living in the Brookwood High School District here in Stellville. That's it, Mark.
All right, thank you, Jamie. And you were talking about real estate. Whenever you talk about real estate, I get excited. So I was going to talk about some real estate.
Yeah. Well, I'm blessed to have you as part of our group, Mark. So you're such a great light, my friend.
I appreciate it. I'll hold and refer to my main man, Peter James, just jumped on. So I'll talk about real estate in a few. I got some exciting stuff to talk about. But Peter James, you got your ears on, my Jamaican brother from another mother and father. You on the air, caller?
Yeah, good morning, guys. I'm still horizontal. I just got back from Jamaica last night, so I'm tired.
Yeah, man. You got to have some good food and some red stripe with you.
The former.
Well, Peter, you got 5 minutes to tell us who you are, what you do, a good referral for your business, and a testimonial.
Man, a whole 5 minutes. That's a lot, brother. I don't know if I can handle it. But good morning, guys. Hey, Claudette, Keel, Jamie.
Good morning.
Yeah, Mark. Peter James here, your consummate, compassionate, healthy choice for final expense planning. And what I do, I help folks to put aside funding. In some markets, they call me Parachute Pete, meaning I provide a soft landing. Now, there are a lot of folks who have a need, but don't know where to get it filled. So a good referral for me would be someone who is contemplating, and most people are, they've been thinking about it for a while. We try to help them out the thinking phase into the practical phase. There's a saying that if you can think of it, it can become a reality when you plan it. So with that said, we provide funding through an insurance policy, which caters to folks who, as I said before, want to put aside funding for their loved ones. So when that time comes, not if, they don't have to scramble and worry and be stressed out. We provide peace of mind. My clients at the end of the transaction have a sense of relief, joy, and exhilaration, plus accomplishment. They've taken care of something that definitely they've needed to for a long while, but have been putting it off. As Jamie's favorite line is, procrastination is a thief of time. So we believe that today is the tomorrow that you thought about yesterday. And Claudette says it's best to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So with that said, Keel, final expense is like a parachute. If you don't have it, when you need it, you don't need it anymore. So I work with folks anywhere between 35 up to 85 years old. I can go higher or lower by writing sums anywhere between 2,500 to 50,000 in simplified issue insurance without any medical. So there's no blood or urine involved. So with that said, again, my name is Peter James. Testimonial for me, I had a lady that called in recently that had a myriad of issues. And I do work with the underserved a lot. And I hear 20% of the population is underserved, meaning they don't have the normal requirements to meet insurance, getting coverage. So as a broker, I don't work for any company, I work for the client. So this lady called in and she had a myriad of issues, couldn't get insurance, had been turned down because she had a rare, situation. I was able to shop and I found 2 companies that would cover her. And boy, was she happy because she had been searching and couldn't find it. So that's what I do basically. I help folks who normally would get turned down, among other things. Again, Peter James, your healthy choice for final expense planning.
All right. Thank you, Peter James. And I am Marc Hamm. I am your co-host this morning. And Jamie Parker got me, riled up about some real estate because it's a whole lot going on. Short version, my wife and I, we do real estate. We do commercial and residential real estate, and we're known as Team Hamm Group, and we're with EXP Realty, EXP Realty Georgia. And my main man, Jamie Parker, we called him a couple weeks ago. We got a call to do an open house. And I said, hey, Jamie, man, you got any open house signs? We were so excited to do the open house. We asked Jamie was running around. So I said, let me make it simple. Happened to look, and Home Depot had some open house signs. And we had a few in the garage, but we needed a few more. So we got some big ones and some little ones. And we rolled up in Alpharetta, Georgia, and we just rode through the subdivision. And we planned it out, you know, hey, we're gonna put one here, we're gonna put one there, we're gonna point the arrow this way, point the arrow that way. And so we jumped on in there and got out and stuck them in the ground. And, you know, we're about 30 minutes before the open house, you know, because you got to set them up beforehand. And let me tell you, boy, folks rolled up in there. It was a 2-bedroom townhouse in Alpharetta, Georgia. And it was in a nice area, but it was one of those that you had to kind of go around and walk through a little tunnel area to get to the property. So we thought people wouldn't, you know, see where it is. So I stayed outside while Shannon was inside, and I helped direct people. And they got in there, they loved the place. It was spotless. You know, it was more so for a single guy or a college student. You know, it wasn't a huge place, but it was really nicely done. Tile as soon as you walk in, living room, fireplace. The kitchen had the washer and dryer, as well as the pantry, little dinette area. And then they had a backyard where you could go out and sip your coffee, or, you know, just be one with nature. Then upstairs you had 2 bedrooms, and it was a bathroom in each one. So kind of roommate style. And just fairly simple. Everyone loved it. Like they were ready to write contracts right then and there. We were excited. We took a bunch of pictures and posted them on Facebook. Everybody's just so glad to take a picture. I don't understand it, but we're thankful, because we like to show people what we do when we do. And we were just glad to be able to help people. And we went from there to looking for other properties for some other clients. And we are happy to say the client that was stressed out, not able to find anything, they were looking for a residential lease in Atlanta, Georgia. We found them one, and they signed the lease yesterday. They move in at the end of the month.
Woohoo!
You know, we're just so glad to help people. We don't do it for the money. That's an added bonus, but we just truly love looking and helping and you know, turning over the rock, looking under the rock and go, I think we got something here. And so last night we were up getting all the paperwork in our back office. And as soon as these people get the keys, we'll be celebrating with them. Maybe we'll take them a bottle of grape juice or something to that effect. But anyway, Marc Hamm with Team Hamm Group, Shanahan with Team Hamm Group. And we do residential, commercial lease, commercial purchase, residential lease, residential purchase. And we love what we do. And so a lot of people who are relocating from where Claudette is, from up New York down to Atlanta, we help them. We go and look under the cabinets. We look at go up in the attic. We look for a place for someone else like it's for us. We don't just sell a property, as Jamie alluded to. We care. And so if you want real estate with a personal touch and Jamie ain't available, call Team Hamm Group and we'll run over right away and help you. Anyway, I'm your co-host today, and this is the Greater Eastside Chamber of Commerce Open Networking every Wednesday at 8 a.m. If you have a business, come hang out with us and talk with us. We'd be more than glad to share what you do. All right, we're going to go back around the room. I'm going to talk to Claudette, Kyle, and Peter James, and I think Jamie Parker had to jump off. But Claudette, tell us why you do what you do and what got you started in business.
Well, I shared like how I got started is because, you know, when I was going through the struggles of trying to find how to care for my mom, you know, because it was never an option that she was going into a nursing home. She was staying in my house. She was staying in her house, the house that she had bought and that I still live in today. And as I was learning about these solutions that were geared towards the average person, I remember just asking myself, I didn't know about these things, and do my friends, do my family, does my community know about it? And the answer is generally no. I'm an advocate at heart, and being able to help people be better is what I love to do. It's why I was placed here on this earth. So when I'm able to sit down with somebody and help them protect their family, what Peter and I do is similar. For those who cannot get insured through the usual route, Peter is an awesome resource. I pick it up from there, and people go, well, why do I have to worry about this? And this is kind of thing that drives me. They'll go, why do I have to worry about after I'm dead? And I'm like, so you don't like your wife, your spouse, your kids, you don't have things you want to leave for people? They're like, well, of course I do. And I said, if you're interested in leaving, something for your children to give them that head start, that start up in life, understanding insurance and the tools around it is the most tax-free, probate-free way to pass that generational wealth. If you want to make sure, if you're concerned about what something happens to you, what's going to happen to your family, this is it. I mean, COVID should have taught, and I'm going to get a little I hate about this, but COVID should have taught everybody a lesson. People were not prepared. I literally got off of Facebook because the amount of GoFundMe's was just overwhelming. You wanted to help everybody, but you couldn't. Why? Because they weren't ready. And point blank, you are not leaving this earth alive. So are you ready? Are you going to have to go and ask for help, or are you going to be prepared? Because after the final services, your family still has a life that they're going to lead. They can't replace you, but can they continue with the dream that you have? Because you saw the impact, loss of a home because they couldn't continue, the loss of all the dreams because they couldn't continue without you. How do you prepare for that? And at the end of the day, understanding how to make your money work for you is about preparation. Marc, I think you in real estate, and Kyle, especially you in fitness, we all know this. People say, oh, I need to make a change in my life. And you're like, okay, I'm here to help you. And they either don't really put in the effort, they don't really understand what it takes, so that they'll put in an effort that makes sense. And they keep thinking that there's a quick fix. And we both all know there's no such thing as a quick fix to a true goal. What never fails to crack me up is you will spend more time researching a vacation. You'll spend more time researching your new cell phone or your car, but you don't ever spend any time researching or understanding how to make your money work for you.
That's right. And I will say this, depending on where you are in your life, you really don't even care about money or leaving a legacy, or, you just live it. And then when you get to that crucial age, you realize, I need to make some type of plan or preparation financially. You do care. And sometimes for us, that's a little late in the game. And so I'm glad people like you, Claudette, are out here teaching us and talking to us, because we need to wake up sooner than later and be focused and serious about finances. All right, Kyle, why did you get started doing what you do?
Okay, I just want to say Claudette and Peter are right on point with the work they're doing, which is great. And I don't know, Claudette, if I missed in the chat, but I didn't see your information. I was just looking for it. So when I was in the 7th grade, the doctor put me on a diet because what he referred to me as I was getting husky. And I was very embarrassed. I was the one chubby kid in class. And my mother wanted to do something about it, and so did the doctor. And so they put me on a diet, and my mom took it very seriously, and she went and got all of these scales and measuring devices and everything. And she bought dinner that night. This was a Friday, and maybe once a month or twice a month, on Fridays we would have our favorite, which was Kentucky Fried Chicken. At the time, was my favorite, not anymore. But I used to love even the way the smell of the cardboard bucket combined with the chicken, and I just knew what was getting ready to dig in. And my mom was serving everybody, and I'm waiting for my plate. And then she brought out these scales, and she had a lean brisket and some vegetables and things. And she passed me my plate. And I thought she was joking. I was like, yeah, all right, Mom, very funny. Pass my chicken, please. And she was like, no, you're starting your diet today. And we went back and forth, and she was really serious. However, I was serious about getting my treat. So I told myself I was going to wake up in the middle of the night, sneak downstairs, and I am going to get my chicken. And sure enough, in the middle of the night, I woke up around 3, 4, pitch black at night, tippy-toed downstairs, went in the fridge, got the bucket, took out my chicken, put it on a paper plate. And I don't know, I had an epiphany that if I kept on this path, this is what I would keep doing. I didn't like when kids teased me. I didn't like that the girls that I liked would not give me the attention that I was seeking from them. And I put the chicken back. I put the bucket back in the refrigerator. The next morning, I started researching anything I could on athletes, what they eat, anything on dancers who looked athletic and were in shape. What is their routine? What do they do? And that kind of put me on my path toward health and wellness. And it just continued and continued into young adulthood. And I'm still a student of the game. I'm always researching, I'm always learning, because I find that the things that we think are healthy, I used to think that, hey, I don't want to go to, I won't go to McDonald's. I'm trying to be healthy. So I'm going to go to Burger King, where the burgers are grilled. And they are, you can see the grill marks on them. But what you can't see is that they are sprayed with preservatives so that the meat lasts long. What you can't see is the amount of sodium that's in the patty. What you can't see are all the additives and things of that nature that's in the food. And the same thing can be said about any fast food, from Zaxby's to Popeyes to so on and so forth. So my journey continues. And what I like to do is connect the dots to thoughts for people. Because what Claudette alluded to and what Peter alluded to is we have a lot of learned behaviors. And the learned behaviors that we see from the people who are around us, who are influences on us, primarily our parents, but even aunts and uncles and cousins and friends, is nobody really does a thing until the moment is upon them. So I hear people all the time say, well, you know, Kyle, you got to die from something. And then when I go visit someone in the hospital, they're like, can you help me? Or, yeah, and I'd love to. And sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't, because of the moment in time where you find yourself at. So it's kind of what can you prep? What can you prepare to do to find out information? Claudette was so on point. I see this in my seminars. I say this all the time. The men, our cars are detailed. They smell good on the inside. The man cave has all of the speakers, wireless. You have the HDTV, everything going around you. But your health and your wellness on your inside, there's a question. The ladies, the hair is done, whether it's permed, whether it's locked, whether it's braided, whether it's tinted. The nails are done. The toenails match the fingernails. You got the nice handbags. The makeup is flawless. You could do a video shoot. But what's going on the inside? And that hit me as another epiphany one day. A friend of mine, coworker friend of mine, passed away, and we had these conversations about health and wellness. And people always call me, it's funny that you're referred to as a health nut when you're thinking about taking care of your body and taking care of yourself. And I saw her in the casket, and her hair was flawless and her makeup was done to perfection, but she was in the casket. I try to connect dots to thoughts so people can at least have the seed planted that, yeah, maybe there's one little thing that I can do. Maybe I can start. Maybe it's going on a lifestyle change that I won't completely stick to, but maybe I'll come back to it. And all of that is okay. The main thing that I say is to get started. You have to get started and you have to get information. The more information you get, the more it's reciprocal. Like you'll want to do more. That's what I found out. I used to love crimpets, tasty cake crimpets, the butter with the little kind of figure eight and the butterscotch icing on top, and it was in wax paper and all these tactile things that made me, oh, I can't wait to dig into this. It's so soft and spongy. And I said, wait a minute, I'm a cook. My mother taught me how to cook from the time I was 9 years old. I can bake. Maybe I can save myself some money instead of buying this as a teenager with spending my allowance. I'll start baking. Let me check out these ingredients and I'll follow the recipe, put my own spin on it. And I know from baking, and we all know if we decided to go and make a cake right now, we'd have somewhere around 5 to 7 ingredients: wheat, milk, eggs, maybe some cinnamon, flour. There were 55 ingredients in this, and things that I couldn't readily pronounce, like isodibicarbamide and tertiary butyl hydroquinone. And I'm like, what are these things? And so as I researched these things, I found out that isodibicarbamide, which is in all fast food breads, with the exception of Panera and Subway as of 2017, isodibicarbamide is a softening component. So it makes it tactile when we taste it, when we chew it, it's very soft and spongy. And it's the same thing that's in yoga mats that makes yoga mats soft and spongy. And that's what we're consuming. And so when we look now at the rate of longevity, we see from 2018 a drop off for this generation, that we're heading in the wrong direction. Every other generation ahead of its time is inching, moving, living longer, 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 longer. This generation, it's a concern. And it's not a stone cold boilerplate stamp sentence. It can be reversed, but we have to think about what we're putting in our systems and what we're giving our children. Because there are other countries that do it. There are other countries in this greatest country of the USA. Many countries won't accept our food. And if they do accept it from a chain, you have to change it. Subway cannot call their rolls because of the amount of sugar that's in their rolls. They have to refer to it in Ireland and Switzerland as cake. So you think Subway, oh, let me get some, let me get a sub instead of getting something fried or a burger. Let me try to be healthy. It's that they're geared toward making us think that there are healthier choices when they're really not. There are things we do with Halloween a couple months ago. Folks are putting packages of Skittles in. And if you read the ingredients in Skittles, it has titanium dioxide in it. It has dyes, the same dyes that you would make the blue #2 to make a blue blouse or a blue shirt, yellow #5 to make a yellow. These are lighter components of the same dye. And this is what we're eating. And this is why we're seeing the effect that we're seeing in ourselves and in our children. When I was the only chubby kid in class, teenage diabetes was unheard of. I didn't know about teenage diabetes until the 90s, till the mid or late 90s. So what it's telling us is from the 70s, there's been a proliferation of what they're putting in foods, and they're increasing it because the more addictive you can get to it, that's a repeat customer. It's a low-level drug dealer. And that's what we're doing with cakes and with colas. And that's why they make them biggie size. When I used to go to McDonald's, we would go to the circus, and it would be a treat and a day out. And then we'd go stand in line at McDonald's and we'd get burger. And the fries was in a little white package like this with an M on it. This was the size of fries. There was no super large. There was no biggie fries. But they want to get you addicted because it's money, and it does well, as you can see on the sign, billions and billions of served with McDonald's. So connecting dots to thoughts, a lot of people kind of say things like, we make excuses because they're go-to and they're easy, and we're comforted by food. And that's the real key. Food can comfort us. And what I call the inconvenience of convenience stores, the inconvenience of drive-through. We think it's a convenient because you can get it quick, fast, in a hurry. But what's going into the food, which then goes into the body, is a detriment. We microwave our food so we can get it quickly. But when you go to the dentist and they put the placard in your mouth and tell you to bite down, the assistant puts a lead vest over you and they leave the room for 2 seconds to click that radiation. When a child is too close to the television, we tell the child, no, stand back, that's not good for you, because there's a low level radiation that comes off the TV. But we don't connect the dots to thoughts to say, I'm putting my food in a microwave and it's going to be irradiated and it's going to go through and rub those molecules together so that they become hot. And then I'm going to put that irradiated food in my system. So here's where we here to help you. That's what we're here for. Here to help you connect these dots so that at least you have the information. Now, if you want to continue, Mike, and you even call it microwave and they say, oh, nuke it real quick. Yeah, nuke it with radiation. Connecting dots to thoughts. Let's hear what we're talking about. Let's see what we're talking about. Let's not just go by the aroma of a smell of French fries, which everyone knows McDonald's French fries has been crowned the best French fries. Well, they take the grease from the beef fat and they pour it in the oil. And they also use sugar in their French fries. And that's why their French fries taste the best, because it has all these different flavorings on it. But we don't know, we're just getting some good French fries. And McDonald's has the best French fries. But that's what's going into it: beef fat and extra salt and sugar. Well, that's a recipe for disaster after a while. So we're seeing where people are having heart attacks. 735,000 folks will have a heart attack every year. Of that number, 525,000 will pass away. The number one killer in America is heart disease for men and for women. But for men, it's over half of the number of men. So a lot of people, we came out of a pandemic. A lot of people were, COVID's killing everybody. Well, again, look at our foods, because out of the globe, the planet Earth, the United States had the highest number of COVID deaths. Not third world countries who are eating coconuts and greens and callaloo and spinach and moringa and all of these things, and eating mangoes. Not third world countries, okay? Not England, not Israel, who's also industrialized, not Russia, also industrialized. They have, microwaves and they have stoves and they have cars and all these things. The United States of America had the highest death toll. And one of the things that was striking to me is that health officials never said, cut down or eliminate dairy, cut down or eliminate trans fats, cut down or eliminate simple carbohydrates, refined foods with additives and preservatives, because we want to keep living this life going on as we go on through a lot of learned behaviors until it meets that point that Claudette and Peter were talking about, until it meets that point in time where it's like, oh, now the issue is upon me. So we like to just share information, guide and support people. There are little steps that you can do. And Mark knows that I talked about this before. We used to go to IHOP years and years ago. Now I get old-fashioned rolled oats or teff flour, which is not really a flour, it's actually a grain, a grass from Africa. Put it in the bullet, put it in your Ninja, blend it for 35 seconds. You have oat flour or you have teff flour. And then follow your recipe and make your pancakes or make your waffles or make your muffins or your cake, except now it's gluten-free. Now you don't get that gluten spike. Now you don't feel like going to sleep or just sitting around into a dull, lulling yourself to sleep from the pancakes that you have from IHOP with syrup. Now you're ready to go, because oats time release the amount of energy, glucose that you need in your system. Little things like that can make big differences on your health and your wellness. And of course, one day the battery stops running for all of us. But while you're here to have the best quality of life. I like to play ball. I like to spar boxing. My wife and I, we go to a party, which we just went to last weekend, or to a wedding. We dance all night. We dance to sweat. We dance all night long. We outdance everybody. We don't sit down until the music stops. And that's a wonderful ride to be on. It feels like you're at an amusement park, to have your body be able to do to some extent what it was doing in your 30s and your 20s. And there's no reason you can't. It's just that we don't.
Yeah. Kyle, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I'm Marc Hamm, and the reason why I got into doing real estate with my wife is two people, my parents and my cousin Ty. And my parents, they were retired, and they were moving from New Jersey to North Carolina. And so we used to get in the car and drive to North Carolina and meet them when they would go to visit North Carolina. And while we were there, we would look for homes for them. And we did this over a span of 2-3 years. And we weren't licensed yet. We were interested in real estate, but we just went to help and be, you know, a second set of eyes, a third set of eyes for my parents. And I remember the day when they found the house that they live in, we were there. And there were 2 houses, one cross street from the other, and we went in both. And we knew my parents liked a good family room, and one had a big family room and one had a big kitchen. And so they went with the one with a smaller kitchen, but a big family room because they like to entertain. And that feeling that they found the house while we were there looking and helping them look and do, you know, look through the papers and look with the agents, and that resource to help them and give advice nailed it for us. And cousin Ty, he lived in a condo, and when he got married and we wanted to move into a house. And so we went out with him looking, and we did some research before we went out to look. And we saw a place in Dallas, Georgia. He used to live in Marietta. And we took him to this new construction in Dallas, and walked through the model home, and they told him they'd be building one soon around his time frame and in his price range. And he loved it. We went on to look for maybe another month or 2 at different homes. And guess what house he lives in? It's that one we found on the first day. How about that? You find your home that you live in, and it turned out to be a 5-bedroom, 3 bath with 3,000 square feet, big yard in the back. And now he's a homeowner, and we just had to help him get his washer and dryer. They didn't want to offer him a washer and dryer. And so we helped talk and negotiate that, and he got it, and he's happy. And so that is why we got in the business of real estate, is to help. We were helping family. And so when we help regular people, friends, or people we meet for the first time, we treat them like family. By the time we're done with the process, they're sending us Christmas cards. They call and checking on us just like we do with them. And so we love what we do, and that's why we do what we do. Before we wrap up, I just want to hear again from Claudette and Kyle. Claudette, what is one thing that we don't know about you? Tell us something we don't know.
Well, one, I'm a big anime fan. Most people don't know that. They like anime, really? It's like, yeah, really. 2, I love to garden. That's something most people, because they say you're in New York. I'm like, yes, I know.
Ain't a whole lot of gardening in New York.
Actually, right? There's quite a lot, but people don't realize that I love to garden. And 3, you know, what Kyle talked about was a journey that I started 12 years ago. And this is the reason why. You know, when I was younger, I did all this stuff. I danced, I ran. My body did what I asked it to do, right? And, you know, of course you get older and, you know, you work and I know that kind of stuff, you know, life. And then one day I noticed that it was getting harder and harder to get off the ground. And I was like, okay, Claudette, you have to do something about this. I even used to teach, you know, fitness at one point in the careers that I've had. And I said, this is the deal. You either make a change or you're going to die, because you're going to fall down one day and not be able to get up, and you're going to be too embarrassed to call anybody to help you get up. So you're just going to lie there and die. And I went, I am not going out like that. And okay, I'm sorry, people, but I'm just going to go there. I said, I will not be that cliched Black woman that has to go, baby, help me up the stairs. Baby, help me cross the street. Baby, help me do this. Baby, help me do that. I said, I damn straight refuse to go out that way. and I was making a change. You know, what God was saying was so on point, and it goes across the line for whether you're talking about health, wellness, you're talking about how to change your life situation, how to handle your finances. It's what is influencing you. Are you comfortable? You know, I never realized this until someone made this point. People are comfortable in their struggle. They're so used to being in struggle, they know exactly how to, but when they don't want to take the opportunity to get out of struggle because they don't know how to live. I know how to live in struggle. I don't know how to live out of struggle. But you need to ask yourself, what do you really want out of your life? Do you always want to be making decisions based on how much money you have in your pocket? Or do you want to be that person that says, you know what, I think I want to take a trip away this weekend, and you just go. Or I just want to be able to go to this concert, and you just go. Because you got a friend like that no matter what, they just go. And you were like, how are you doing that? Because they made plans, they look at life strategically, and they know what they want, and they work towards getting it. We're not telling you live a life of austerity or denial. We're saying help you making better choices. And I have to tell you, you know, I'm going through something of a health challenge, but it's all good. But the difference is besides my faith in God, besides all the prayers that I'm getting from everybody else, which is sustaining me, I'm coming from a place that I was stronger. I was healthier. So I had more to fight with. And as I'm coming out of it, I'm focusing again on getting my body back into shape, fighting to get stronger again. Because I do not know the day of the hour, the time God's going to call me home, but I want to be able to still live the life he brought me here for. And that was to serve. And I'm not doing it. I don't want to do that from a hospital bed, from being bedridden. I want to be out there amongst people, helping them find their path, whether it's towards financial, security, directing them towards someone who's going to help them with their health, or directing them to someone who's going to help them with their forever home. So much of who you are comes out of where you live. So much of what you can accomplish comes out about how you can handle your lifestyle, your health. So much. And we got to stop buying into this, it's like body shaming thing. Oh, don't even get me started on that. Or, it's okay, that I've spent all my money on a pair of shoes or on a bag and I can't pay my rent or buy decent food. We can do better. And we've all been there. So people don't know that I'm in anime, gardening, and that's why they call me Mama Claude.
All right, Kyle, real quick, tell us something we don't know about you.
I am also a drummer. I used to have a band in the 90s with two of my best friends who are like brothers to me. And I'm also into screenplays, and I'm working on a book of health and nutrition. So I will, in the not too distant future, be an author. And thanks for sharing that, Claudette. Fascinating story. And Mark also, with your parents, thanks for sharing that, because the beginnings connect us to thoughts, connecting dots to thoughts, right? Like you got to plant seeds so people can think about a home, or flipping a home, or getting an investment. Think about their final expenses, think about financials, think about health and wellness. It's about quality of life in the here and now, until it is that day. But while we're here, we need to make the most of it, and it generates with us. So best health and wellness to everyone. Thank you.
All righty. And something you don't know about me, growing up at 13 years old, I went to college for computer programming. I used to write those games with the little blips going back and forth. And once I did get to college, the regular college, I used to DJ as my work study to help put me through college. That was my money that I made. And everybody else was sweeping the floors or flipping burgers or working at UPS. And I did work at UPS for all of 2 days, and I found out it wasn't for me, especially when a 150-pound small box fell and almost hit my supervisor. I was like, well, that's my last day. I'm going back to DJing. And so, yep, I DJed for some years at school mostly. And then I got a little better and I went to the local club and bar and I used to go there and miss Michael Jordan playing my Knicks because I was starting a new job DJing at the club. And so I gave the tickets to my brother. Shout out to my brother, Jerry Hamm, over at Fraternal Regalia, the Greek shop over at Lithonia, Stonecrest Marketplace. And so if you need some Greek paraphernalia, go see Jerry Hamm and I'll drop his info in the chat for everybody. Anyway, we got to get ready to get on up out of here. Want to thank Claudette and Kyle and Jamie and my main Jamaican brother, Peter, for stopping through. Before we go, just want everybody to reiterate your name of your business and where you're located and how they can get in contact with you. Claudette, you up first.
Hey, Claudette Foreman, World Financial Group. I am located in New York City. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm the only Claudette Foreman in LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. I'm the only Claudette Foreman on Facebook. I did drop some info in my chat on how to get on my calendar for a quick half an hour virtual coffee so we can get connected. There's also my website, but LinkedIn is always the better way, or finding me on Facebook is easy. As I said, I'm the only Claudette Foreman on either platform. I am easy to find.
All righty. And Kyle?
Yes, heretohelpyou.com is the website that has all my contact information. My number is 973-418-4135. I'm on Facebook as Kyle Toms and as Here to Help You as well. And I give a couple of free tips weekly on what you can do with your body in terms of physical fitness and nutritional alternatives.
All righty, and I'm Marc Hamm, and you can reach myself and my wife at teamhammgroup.com or 678-889-5020. And we do real estate with a personal touch. And if you need residential or commercial, we'll be there to help you. We love what we do. We don't do it for the money, but we thank you for subsidizing my grandson's future, because that's what we saving it for him. Anyway, that's our time, y'all. This is the GECC, Greater Eastside Chamber of Commerce Open, networking every Wednesday. And Claudette, come on back when you get a minute and let's talk some more. You got a lot of knowledge to share, and same with you, Kyle. We'll be back next week, same time, same back channel, all that good stuff. And we thank everybody for coming out. Shout out to Jamie Parker. I'm sure he's over there in Walton County showing some properties. But we work together at eXp Realty. All right, y'all, we got to get on out of here. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you later. Kyle, Claudette, hang out 1 second. We're going to jump off of Facebook, and peace out, Facebook, man. Thanks for tuning in. Whoever is on right now, drop your info in the chat. We want to give you a shout out. All right, I'll see you. Have a good one. Peace. All right, we are off Facebook. And let me drop some info. So Claudette, Kyle is looking for other networking opportunities and things of that nature. So we're going to bring them over to HMP. And okay. So you could tell them where you go to, Black entrepreneurs in New York and all that good stuff.
So I'm going to give you, like, HMP is pretty vast. I'm going to drop you to the HMP link that will take you through it in general.
Okay,
and then the Black Entrepreneur link. So let's go put that in the chat. And either one, you can click on either one of those links. Black Entrepreneurs, we meet every Tuesday from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. It is the most fun you'll ever have. And then on the HMP site, that'll just take you through the whole 65 groups that we're offering. And I really like the way you put, how you talk about what you do. It distinguishes you from many other of the health and life coaches, because it is the influences that you hear and the decisions that you make. And a lot of times, like I said, when this comes to this whole body shaming thing, it's okay to be fat. They just shaming you. No, you're behind this fat. You need to lose weight. Your body was only made to carry so much fat. And you may not notice it now, but by the time you are in your 50s, your knees are going to be talking to you.
Or your pancreas, or your liver, or your arteries.
This nonsense is okay. No, it's not.
Right. People want to be okay where they are now. That's what they want to be, thick. They want to be where they are now and comfortable at the moment. But you need to think about it. You ought to think, I should say, about on the long term.
And then you start trying to put on clothes that look good on someone who was half your size to say, you're just shaming me. No, you just need to lose weight.
That's
I'm
all.
going to tell you that. I'm not telling you you're going to be twiggy. I'm just telling you to be in shape. There's a difference.
Right. And healthy.
And healthy. And this whole nonsense, well, I'm Black, I don't have to eat healthy because you got what? What?
Right. Yes.
Good genes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
why you
another thing,
keep.
I'll just add really quickly, Claudette, thank you for that. You know, when you were talking about the stereotypical Black person who helped me help mama up, I have clients and I've had them. It's all cultures, especially in this country, right? And even especially down here in Georgia, you know, people of all cultures are, the knee hurts, the hip hurts, you need assistance, you don't want to get up, get me a glass of water, you don't want to get it yourself because you're too uncomfortable. So health and wellness is quality of life. That's
It's quality of life.
where it's
And
at.
understanding how your money works is quality of life.
Absolutely. But these are things that we're not readily taught about finances, about final expenses. It's like, oh, I don't want to think about when my parent leaves me. I don't even want to talk about it. I have been in that position myself. I've said that to my mom. My mom will tell me, well, this is what I'm going to do with that. Mom, I don't want to talk about that now. You don't want to think that I'm leaving.
Before we go, make sure you save the chat, Kyle, because I got to jump off for a meeting. We got all the events in the chat. You got them all?
Yeah, the Daily Huddle is meeting now.
Yeah,
Every Black
right
is
now.
heavy, so I'm gonna hop off to get on the Daily Huddle. I
Yeah,
had
that's
fun
what
on
I'm
it
saying.
yesterday.
Is that different from, is that the same links you guys are talking about?
No, he
Huddle?
just dropped a bunch of links on you for Daily Huddle,
Okay.
Every Black Entrepreneur. The Daily Huddle is
I
really
see.
good.
Okay, I see it now.
Yeah,
Thank
Daily
you.
Huddle's right now.
Right
Okay,
now.
thank
All right,
you.
Kyle, it's great to meet you. We'll talk again, Mark.
My
Thank you. I'll see
pleasure.
you
I'm
soon.
gonna look you up on
Smooches,
Facebook.
Claudette. Good
Okay.
seeing you. I'll see you throughout the week.
All righty. Okay,
All
bye.
right. And IDH 2023 is Friday, Kyle. Check out the ones that Claudette dropped.
Yep.
Black entrepreneurs in New York. You got everything?
Yeah, I just copied everything. I'm gonna put it in a Word document.
Okay, good. All right, let me jump on this meeting and I'll catch you later. Good stuff, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.